with Bavarians in their green and whites battling against Vodka Juniors in their blues. Vodka Juniors starting the game off. Both teams tied for last place, but with a mighty big ticket on the line. The winner of this game still harbored or would harbor some hopes of catching Panteras in 8th place and nabbing the 8th spot, the last spot, into the Cup season. So plenty to play for between these two cellar dwellers. Let's see how this one shakes out. Glad to have you with us. Vodka Juniors a no-show last week and only 5 players this week. So bit of a David and Goliath, at least numerically speaking, between these two squads. On the move now for Vodka is Kevin Garibay, shaking one off across midfield. The open touch to the left, to the right side for Rodriguez. Rodriguez on the move. Covering by Craig Brown. He runs out of room. And it should be Bavarians putting it back into play, and they do. The interruption by Rodriguez. Off to chase it there is Holly Stokes. Stokes, right footed touch. Stokes, the shot, and that one kisses the outside of the net. Almost fooled us for just a split second. It is 0-0 the score. Bavarians against Vodka Juniors. The final game of the Cashmere Soccer League's spring season. Absolutely scorcher of a day here at Christ Center Soccer Field. Glad to have you with us nonetheless. Hope you're nice and cool wherever you are, because we certainly are not. Good takeaway that time by Stokes. On the move now across midfield go the Bavarians. One thing that I noticed about Bavarians, this is our first game broadcasting their squad. The quick move on the left side for Travis Blue. Travis Blue trying to shake off that marker, looking for the open man on the top of the box. Rejected with more urgency than style by the backline of Vodka Juniors. One thing I noticed, like I was saying about these Bavarians, is that they have a bookstore as one of their sponsors, which, of course, as a book nerd myself, I think it's the coolest thing since sliced bread. Brown on the move. The push-up field. That's not your phone. Stokes. This Stokes can play. Throw in for Vodka Juniors. A good opportunity for Bavarians now. Good ball movement. Ball goes out of bounds. Vodka Juniors putting it into play. The header that time by Travis Blue. Stokes. Into a battle with Rafa Rodriguez. Rafa prevailing that time. Jose Garcia. Kevin Garibay. Stokes. Some room. The shot. Stokes. Oh, my goodness. It almost dances away from the outstretched hands of Matthew Hurd, the goalkeeper for Vodka Juniors. This moment of the game brought to you by our good friends at La Tortuga Loca. Delicious eats in the heart of downtown Cashmere. There's some good quesadillas at La Tortuga Loca. Surprised to see my friend Javier not carrying one just to torture me. Brown, the shot, and Matthew Hurd. And over there, like a cat guarding the butcher shop for Bavarians, was Jamie Lamb, who couldn't head it in, but the ball went out of bounds before she could connect. A corner kick for these Bavarians. What was the score of the Panteras game? Did Panteras play today? On the move now is Martin. 7-2 win or 7-2 loss? Loss. Okay, so Panteras very much catchable for these two teams if they manage to stay away from a draw. Garibay on the move. Garibay on the mark is Craig Brown. The shot across. Garibay, personal maneuver. Garibay blocked nimbly by two players of Bavarians. Lamb taken away by Rodriguez. Rodriguez, right-footed touch. The diving stop by Charlie Lee, the goalkeeper for the stripy ones from Leavenworth. It is the 8th minute of play, 7:37 on the clock. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank our friends at Rent and Go Trailers LLC, proud sponsor of Cashmere Soccer League action this spring. The good turn, the half volley, the bounce, another try with the left foot this time, and it sinks it in. Lower left corner off the gate, and it is a goal for Bavarians in the 8th minute of play. Number 11, Zach Lutz with the first tally of the contest. So Zach Lutz tried with the right foot, made the turn, couldn't hack it, then tried with the left foot and sank low to the corner, scaring away the mice. Now we're napping in the midday sun and giving Bavarians a 1-0 lead. There's the throw-in. Stephen Pate. The Robles. Back to Pate. Ball goes out of bounds. Is it Pate? Is that correct? Pate? All right. Just making sure. Very stylish. I think it's a Nike headband he's wearing. Makes it pretty easy for us to distinguish him. Having a little trouble with the balls here. And we're going to have a little exchange here before this corner kick, before this throw-in takes place. This moment of the game brought to you by Central Air Solutions, proud sponsor of Cashmere Soccer League action. Oh, my goodness, a bit of a mistake there. The goalkeeper, Mr. Hurd, found himself in a pickle with some pressure from Fanfaro, and it almost proved costly for Vodka Juniors. Rodriguez. Garcia. A good combination. Garibay. Guerrero. Back to Hurd. Still living dangerously. The push-up field. Rafa Rodriguez, Garibay, whistle on the play. Mr. Abarca says, I did not like that. And restarting the action quickly is Manuel de Robles for Bavarians. Turn to the back. Asking for it is Pate. That one is Pate. Bit of a chipper. Right at the hands of Hurd, who takes no chances this time. This moment of the game brought to you by Central Washington Painting. Honesty, integrity, service, interior, exterior, residential, and commercial. Guerrero. Hurd. Once again under pressure for Faro. Defensive header, Rodriguez. Guerrero taken away by Lamb. Lamb getting the right foot ready. The shot sails just a little wide. Just about, how long ago was it? 2 hours? The first game? 2 hours ago? 2 hours ago? We saw Botafogo take home the trophy, defeating second place Primos 5-3. I am glad for Botafogo. I'm glad for, I am very appreciative of their accomplishment, but a couple of noggins crashed there. Everybody seems to be okay. But I would have liked to see Primos score one more time. Just one more time. Just to see what happens in the last 5 minutes of play with a team down by 1, 5-4 with the championship on the line. A quick run down the left side, but before Josh Price can get there, Mr. Hurd with a bit of trouble has to juggle a little bit before collecting. Whistle on the play. Let's see what the referee says. Looks like it's going to be an indirect free kick for Bavarians, but that is just no more than an educated guess at this point. He's going to have a chat about how to handle the ball with Mr. Hurd. No, just going to be ball to the ground. Ball to the ground. He's going to instruct, if you can't pick it back up once it hits the ground like that. So let's see what the referee says. Yep. Mr. Hurd will restart it. He's going to show him how to do properly a drop kick that time. Those are not allowed in this league. Same as slide tackles. We had a very interesting situation in the Botafogo game. We'll tell you more about it later because there goes Garibay. Garibay inside the box, and this muggy field plays him a trick, much to the delight of some of the people in the crowd here. The shot across, and Garibay misses once again. We've seen at least 3 of those in the 2 games that we've been able to witness today. The field is rather slippery at this point, which is it's not necessarily the slipperiness of it. It's just that the air is humid and the grass is humid, so it makes for a very difficult combination. On the move, shot across, defensive header, almost backfires for Guerrero. It's ultimately a throw-in for Bavarians. Connor Martin. Lamb with a bit of trouble. Lamb, back to Martin. Martin, right foot across. Anybody to tap it in? No. Rafa Rodriguez on defense, trying against Lamb. Lamb, the shot. She wants that goal. No doubt about it. She wants her name in the books, folks. And a substitution. It was Miss Lamb being replaced, I believe, by Miss Stokes. Number 9. Yes, indeed, number 9. Goal kick for Vodka Juniors with only 5 players. Vodka Juniors making a game out of it. Still down 1-0. 14 minutes, 12 seconds into this, the first half of play. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for hanging with us week after week on these games of the Cashmere Soccer League. Hope to see you again in the summer season. The heel touch that time by Martin. Martin trying to connect with Stokes. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a goal kick for these short-handed and yet very game Vodka Juniors, wearing the blue jerseys of their kind of sort of namesakes, the Club Atlético Boca Juniors from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for Bavarians. Bavarians on the move via Stokes. Rejected by Kevin Garibay to no man's land. They wait for the ball to land. It finally does. Craig Brown. Stokes, top of the box. Good combination. Right-footed touch. And the diving Mr. Hurd coming up big. Rodriguez off to the races. Looking for some help. Rodriguez having to do the Lone Ranger thing. Taken away nimbly and cleanly. Scooped up by Travis Blue. Blue, the through ball for Stokes. Ultimately, Mr. Hurd on the stop. But what a shot. That time, it looked like Josh Price, number 7, firing right at goal. And Mr. Hurd coming up big for Vodka Juniors. There is Price in the flesh. Far post. Header. The heel touch. The header by Miss Stokes. And the heel touch, the fancy little touch, does not work ultimately for Zach Lutz, who already has 1 goal to his name in this contest. 16 minutes, 14 seconds. And this is the first half of play. Lutz. Hurd on the goal kick. A push-up field by Bavarians, trying to keep it alive is Martin off of the touch by Travis Blue. Martin, personal maneuver. Martin, the tap. Kicked away by Hurd in the last second before Josh Price could connect with it. Throw in. Lutz. That one is Price. Price making a spot. Oh, what a shot! That looked pretty. That looked very pretty, but with his fist, Mr. Hurd punching it away for the corner kick. Bavarians knocking on the door with a lot more frequency than their counterparts in blue Vodka Juniors. There's a corner kick, far post, and I do mean far post. Off to chase it is Josh Price. Price connecting. With a bit of difficulty, Travis Blue manages to wrangle that one. Back to Price. On the mark is Guerrero. The heel touch. Heel touch, a bit of a dance there. Having a little fun. Travis Blue. A little too long for Stokes. Recovered by Rodriguez. Connecting with Garibay. Defensive effort by Bram, pushing it upfield. The chipper, out of the box. Price, the turn, no doubter. Josh Price making it 2-0 for Bavarians here in the 19th minute of play. So, of course, there's nothing more deceiving, deceitful, duplicitous, and just flat-out dishonest than a 2-0 lead in soccer, but we'll see how these outgunned Vodka Juniors respond. There's one facsimile. It's a shot by Rodriguez right from midfield. Not a major worry for Charlie Lee. The shot from the right side by, it looked like Lewis, sailing way out of bounds. It was not Lewis. It was actually Keegan for Farrell. 19 minutes, 1 second left, starting right now on the clock. Guerrero under some pressure by Lamb, who's no lamb, I tell you. She is fierce. The push-up field rejected. Back to Lamb. The touch from Travis Blue. Is Lamb going to catch up to it? Shot across. Out of the box. Manuel de Robles can't quite wrangle it. The heel touch. Steven Sharp, the shot. And it bounces off his hand. It will be Vodka Juniors putting it back into play. 19 minutes, 34 seconds into this first half of play. Bavarians 2, Vodka Juniors nothing. Glad to have you with us in this lovely and also very, very warm day of soccer here in the Cashmere Valley. Hope to count on your distinguished presence also in the upcoming season. We'll tell you more via our social media channels what the schedule will be like once the summer season begins. But first, of course, we have the Cup season here in the spring, with Botafogo having won the league trophy in a scorcher and a barn burner 5-3 over a very game Primos squad. Oh, a good delivery that time, a bit of a mistake there, and the shot from the mouth of the goal sails over the crossbar. Keegan for Farrell, sending what could have been the third goal of the game for Bavarians over the crossbar. So the first 8 teams qualify for Cup. There's a quick run. Rodriguez on the move, shading to the left, looking for some help. There's Garibay, the shot. Garibay, a couple of bounces. Who's going to tap it in? Oh, my goodness. Charlie Lee coming up big. And ultimately, Kevin Garibay gets Vodka Juniors on the board. But, man, Mr. Lee tried his mightiest to keep that ball out. It is 2-1 Bavarians. Vodka Juniors. Kevin Garibay puts his team on the board at 21 minutes of the first half. On the move now. That one is Lamb. The shot for Farrell and the stop by Mr. Hurd. But I got to tell you, that's got to be a mighty big shot in the arm. Oh, my goodness, Mr. Abarca gets himself a little smooch from the ball there. He seems to be doing okay, but play will resume at the scene of the crime, so to speak. Ball to the ground. But that, like we were saying, this has to be a great shot in the arm for Vodka Juniors going into this one wildly outmanned, and now getting the break, reaching the break point, the halftime break, down only 1 goal. We'll tell you all about the second half right after this. Second half action here in this contest between Bavarians and Vodka Juniors, with Bavarians holding on to a 2-1 lead. Right at the edge of the break, Vodka Juniors got on the board. There's a quick shot, open net. What's going to happen? The shot, sails over the crossbar. What an effort that time. Zach Lutz, just a hair too late. He had an open netter there for a second, but chose to switch to his stronger foot, the left foot, and the ball sailed over the crossbar. Quick reminder, folks, this is the last game of the Spring League season. We crowned Botafogo earlier today after a barn burner of a game, defeating Primos 5-3. And since Panteras lost, the 8th place team, both of these teams still with a shot at making it to the Cup season, which starts next week at Cashmere Middle School. All they have to do is earn the W, and they catch up to Panteras. These two teams right now both tied for last with 1 point each, and Panteras, who lost their last game today with 4 points, so a victory gets them those 4 points, and their goal difference is better than Panteras to begin with, especially now that Panteras have lost their game today 7-2. It is a 2-1 game here, and a bit of a scorcher here at Cashmere Christ Center Soccer Field. Don't forget, folks, next week we are at Cashmere Middle School, so make sure to set Google Maps, Waze, MapQuest, whatever you use, to Tigner Road instead of Kimber Road. The heel touch doesn't quite work that time. I've seemed to have lost my starters. There they are. Alvarez. Garibay. Ball goes out of bounds. The shot that time sails long. Alvarez in reality is Jose Garcia. He's just wearing a shirt that says Alvarez. And the busiest man, the hardest working man in show business during this game has been the gentleman on your screen right now, delivering that goal kick, Mr. Hurd, who had some mighty risky interventions and some mighty heroic ones to keep this a 1-goal game. There's the short touch, good combination. There's Hurd once again kicking it away. Garcia. Garibay. Chasing him is Blue, Travis Blue. Garibay looking for some room, looking for a partner. The touch upfield for Garcia doesn't work, and this could be interesting. It's a 2-on-2. Cleared away nimbly by Rafa Rodriguez. Garcia. Turning back. Guerrero, the push-up field. Rejected and recovered by Holly Stokes. Off of Martin. Can't get to Stokes. Recovered by Garibay. Opening the game up. Back to Garibay. Travis Blue on defense. Pushing it across midfield. With some space. The long shot that time. Kissing the upright. What an effort by Zach Lutz. And over to tap it in is Craig Brown, but he can't quite get there. But man, Mr. Lutz delivering a rocket, and I do mean a rocket that rattled off the crossbar. Goal kick for Vodka Juniors. The header that time by Garibay doesn't quite work. Stopped by Charlie Lee as it sails past him. Pate. Stopped by Rafa Rodriguez. Rodriguez waiting for his Garibay. Before he crosses it, it's stolen by Craig Brown. Touch to the back for Lee. That one is Lamb. Touch to the back. Rodriguez. Garcia. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That is the height of misfortune for these Vodka Juniors. An own goal that time. And it is 3-1 Bavarians. 5 minutes, 8 seconds of the second half. And that ball just got away from the defense and from Mr. Hurd, who had a fine game so far. Rodriguez. Handball that time called on Miss Lamb. There's Mr. Rodriguez, the long ball. Bit too long for Garibay. Garibay, scorer of the lone goal for Vodka Juniors so far. Pate. Jamie Lamb on the right side. Is she going to catch up to it? She is. Lamb, shot across. Cleared away by Garcia. Another try by De Robles. De Robles in a bit of a battle there. It's a 2-on-1. And Rafa Rodriguez sending it to the throw-in. Oh, my goodness. That's a throw-in and a half. Martin. Ball goes out of bounds. Garibay. Long push-up field. Rafa Rodriguez. Cleared away by the defense. Lamb. De Robles. Lamb. Trying to triangulate and return to the Robles. From the ground, she's playing it. Garibay. A long push-up field by Garcia. Doesn't quite work as he was hoping for. Ball goes out of bounds. It's a goal kick for Bavarians. This moment of the game brought to you by our friends at La Tortuga Loca. Delicious eats in the heart of downtown Cashmere. Pate. Over to Marquez Guerrero. Blue. De Robles. The shot. Oh, my goodness. That one sails just a little wide. Substitution coming for Bavarians. We'll tell you in a second who the newbie is. It looks like it's number 12, Craig Brown, getting some more playing time. Defensive header that time. Rodriguez taken away by Zach Lutz. The shot sails wide. Not a major concern for Hurd. It will be a goal kick for Vodka Juniors. This moment of the game brought to you by Central Washington Painting, CW Painting, honesty, integrity, service, interior and exterior, residential and commercial. 3-1, the lead for Bavarians. 8 minutes 51 into the second half of play. The winner earns the 8th spot and a ticket to the Cup season. The loser, well, it's a long summer to think about what they've done. Oh, there's a touch. Garibay loses track of the ball a little bit. Ball goes out of bounds. It will be a throw-in for Vodka Juniors, who are not letting their guard down. They're still trying. Garibay. Rodriguez making a path as he goes. The shot. Oh, my goodness, what a save. And that one sinks in. Oh, that looked awesome. That was a great save at first by Charlie Lee, but the bounce sailed in. And Vodka Jr. gets on the board. 9 minutes 43. And Mr. Garibay has a brace to his name. That would be the 31st minute of play here. And the result that would absolutely devastate both these teams is 1 goal away, which would be a tie. Shot across. Oh, Garibay failed. Swing and a miss. Strike 1 for Garibay. He's having a good game, but right there, the ball was not his friend. What a save that time by Charlie Lee. That was really, really something to behold, but the ball snuck past him, and Vodka Juniors found itself with the second tally of the game for them. A bit of a poetic justice, if you will, because Matthew Hurd also had a bit of a misfortune early on that cost them a goal, and now it is a turn, or it was the turn for Bavarians to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. Garibay on the move, touch to the back. Garcia on the mark is Brown. Taken away that time by Lutz. Lutz off to the races, shot across. Defensive effort by Guerrero. Guerrero with not a whole lot of clarity. Recovered by Josh Price. Price getting ready. Price the shot. Price and the stop by Mr. Hurd. Matthew Hurd getting ready. A bit of a mistake there. The shot. And there's their goal. Taking advantage of a misunderstanding there in the back line. And Bavarians gets a 4th on the board thanks to Holly Stokes, 4-2. The shouts began to emanate from the Bavarians bench. And that tells us that is welcome back. We've just witnessed Bavarians defeat Vodka Juniors 4-2. And with those 3 points, they earned the 8th and final spot in the Cup season. Next to us is Jamie Lamb from Bavarians. Jamie, welcome. And let me ask you, first of all, was that in the radar for you guys, knowing if we win, we're in? Or was it just another game, basically?
No, we knew it. So we came here and said, all right, if we win, we won't be last place. We can sneak into 8th place. And I feel like the whole season we've been getting a little bit better at a time. So we were hoping for the best, finish strong.
Absolutely. Now, one thing that you just said, that makes a big difference. You said you felt you were getting stronger as the season wore on. Perhaps the results weren't there, but you felt that you were playing better. How could you tell? What kind of things did you guys improve upon?
Well, at the beginning, our passing was very subpar. But as we continued on, we were able to pass a little bit. We also just got better awareness of how to move the ball from one side to the other rather than only play long balls over the top. And so we're generally learning each other too. We haven't played together when some of these people have probably played together in this league for years. So some of that too. So I think a little bit at a time.
But the enthusiasm never seemed to waver. I mean, you guys were cheering from the sidelines. Your team was like, you had like 4 or 5 coaches. You have four or 5 people saying, "Do this, do that." They were into it. They were into it. No doubt.
I think you can't take the competitive out of people, right? And so if they haven't played soccer for a little bit, you get them together, and then all of a sudden, I think some of that comes out. That's how you get everybody being coaches. I think it's just the passion comes back out. Mm-hmm.
Now the game, it was 4-2, but you said it. Vodka Juniors did have a bit of a run there. What was it that they did that perhaps gave you trouble?
Oh, well, I think as individual players, they're pretty skilled. So I think we got a little tired, and so then instead of doubling up on their good players, we just let them run, and so then I think they got a little bit of space, and they're going for like the one goal to to fight, and then compact themselves together for defensively. So
2 more questions. One, what needs to improve for the Bavarians to do better in Cup so that you're not worrying about having to sneak in anywhere? You can just say, okay, you're playing us now. See what you got.
Our team doesn't know how to play positions in one group. So when we hit a long ball, we don't have defensive people move forward with the game, and then we end up with big holes in the middle. So I think ours is more on like a more of a team strategy and a little bit more structure. Come together, go back together. That's not really our strengths.
All right, and finally, we were talking earlier to Jean Ledesma, who won the league trophy with Botafogo, and said, "What's it like being the only girl?" You're not the only girl. You're not the only woman. Sorry, the only woman in your team. What has it been for you ladies to be part of this team?
My thoughts are, when I play good and make guys fall down, I don't have anything to prove. I could play terribly. Everybody be like, "Oh, that's fine. That's just a girl over there on the team." But then when I do cool stuff, make some guy through the legs, then he speaks in Spanish and talks something to his friend. His friend talks back, and I love that. And I listen to all their talking, and we got nothing to prove. We just have fun. We run around. Got a bunch of moms on our team playing against some 25-year-old guys that played together for years. Sure, sounds good.
All right. There's no better way to end this interview than with, "I got nothing to prove." Absolutely. Absolutely. That was Jamie Lamb with Bavarians, which just defeated Vodka Juniors 4-2. It is the end of the league season. We'll see you in Cup next week at Cashmere Middle School. Good night.